The Last Word, Episode 13. The Response: How Institutions Try to Regain Control. Intro. In the last episode, we sat in the silence, the waiting period after escalation, when the system knows it has been challenged but hasn't yet decided how to respond. But silence never lasts forever. Eventually, the system speaks. And when it does, it reveals something important, not just what it thinks of your case, but how it intends to protect itself. This episode is about that moment. The moment the system tries to regain control. Section 1. The First Signs of Movement. When institutions finally respond, they rarely do it directly. Instead, you see subtle signs. A carefully worded acknowledgement. A request for clarification. A promise to review the matter. A statement that your correspondence has been passed to the appropriate department. These aren't answers. They're tactics. They're designed to buy time, manage risk, control the narrative, avoid admitting fault. But they also reveal something important. Your escalation worked. Because institutions don't respond unless they feel pressure. Section 2. The Language of Control. When the system finally speaks, it uses a very specific kind of language designed to sound authoritative while saying as little as possible. Phrases like, "We take these matters seriously. We are reviewing your concerns. We are unable to comment at this stage. This does not fall within our remit. We acted in accordance with our procedures." This is not communication. It's containment. It's the system trying to regain control of the narrative. Because once you escalate, the narrative is no longer theirs, it's shared. And that terrifies them. Section 3. The Tactics of Deflection. When institutions feel cornered, they use predictable tactics to deflect responsibility. 1. Procedural deflection. We followed the correct process, even when the process was unlawful. 2. Jurisdictional deflection. This is not within our remit, even when it clearly is. 3. Temporal deflection. This happened too long ago, even when new evidence resets the clock. 4. Interpretive deflection. You misunderstood the law, even when the law is explicit. 5. Responsibility deflection. This was a decision made by another department, even when the department is the same organization. These tactics aren't random. They're institutional muscle memory. A reflex designed to protect the organization, not the truth. Section 4. The system tests your resolve. When the system responds, it's not just giving you information. It's testing you. It wants to know. Will you accept vague answers? Will you be intimidated by official language? Will you back down when they push back? Will you lose momentum? Will you give up? Because most people do. Not because they're wrong, but because they're exhausted. But when you don't give up, when you push back, when you respond with evidence, clarity, and confidence, the system realizes something. You're not going away. And that changes everything. Section 5. The Shift in Power Dynamics. Once the system knows you're serious, the power dynamic shifts. Suddenly, your letters are read more carefully. Your evidence is taken more seriously. Your case is discussed internally. Your name is known. Your persistence becomes a factor. You're no longer a file. You're a problem. A problem that can't be ignored. A problem that can't be dismissed. A problem that could become public. A problem that could expose systemic issues. And institutions fear exposure more than anything. Section 6. The response isn't the end, it's the beginning. When the system finally responds, it's tempting to think, this is it. This is the moment everything changes. But the truth is more complicated. The response isn't the end of the fight. It's the beginning of the next phase. Because now, the system has acknowledged you. The evidence is on record. The failures are documented. The pressure is real. The narrative is shifting. And once the system is forced to engage, it can no longer hide behind silence. It has to act. Or justify why it won't. Either way, the truth moves forward. Closing. In the next episode, I'll take you into the heart of the next phase, the push for transparency, the demand for accountability, and the growing movement of people who refuse to accept the system's excuses. This is where the fight becomes collective. This is where the truth becomes undeniable. And this is where the system begins to lose control of the narrative. Episode 14 is where the pressure turns into momentum.